The world-famous Butch and Bob Show.
World famous Butch and Bob Show here on WIFO 105.5 FM in Jesup, Big Dog Country Radio. Morning, Bob.
Good morning.
How's it going?
It's going good.
Going good?
Yep. Big week. Getting ready for the parade, lighting the tree, all kinds of stuff going on.
Lighting the tree Thursday, parade Friday, just all kinds of stuff going on in downtown Jesup. We'll talk about that in a little while, but we got a guest in here this morning. Bob, who do we have?
Well, again, we announced last week the good news. Gant Starling has signed with the Colorado Rockies. He called me to give me the good news, and again, I was ecstatic because I've seen you many times in the gym. You know, you keep saying all wants a chance. You said you signed for a Happy Meal. You told me one time. But for those listening, first of all, tell people who Gant Starling is, who your family is, when you graduated from Wayne County, and where you went after you got out of high school.
Yeah, so my dad is Buddy Starling. My mother is Billy Joe Starling. I got 3 siblings, going from youngest to oldest. I got Miles Starling. He works at Jesup Police Department now. Maggie's a teacher here, and Autumn just got hired in Fort Stewart for a social working position that she's been working towards for a little while. So that's my family. That's who who's helped me so much along the way, and I appreciate them so much. So.
And tell us when you went to high school, when you graduated.
Yeah. I went to high school from 2016 to 2019. I graduated in 2019 from Wayne County. Committed to the Citadel my junior year summer. Went to the Citadel from 19 to 23, and then used my transfer year, I guess, COVID year, which was I'm grateful that we had it, but I wish COVID would never happen. But I used that at South Alabama to continue playing ball there.
I think we had you in here talking about your career at Citadel because that's always a unique school, but you had a great time at Citadel, didn't you?
Oh, I loved it. The culture there, they say that it's a tough place to be at, but a good place to be from, and it's you really don't notice it until you're there. You really can't buy into that thought until you're there. The alumni are so tight-knit. The city really gathers around the military aspect of what we bring, the culture that we bring, the history behind the Citadel. It means a lot to not only people that graduated from the Citadel, but people that live in Charleston and people that know that anything about Charleston. They know Citadel is it's a big deal there. So.
Yeah, I've got a friend who's got 2 sons who graduated from the Citadel, and a couple of times I went with him to see his sons on the campus there, and they were just talking about that freshman year is kind of you got to stay in there, but once you graduate from the Citadel and go there, it just opens up doors, and you've got that tight knit alumni organization that helps each other out.
Sir, that's exactly right. It's definitely a blessing. I went back this past year and played in the alumni golf tournament. Now that I'm alumni, I got to go and play in the alumni baseball tournament. I couldn't believe the turnout.
You played in the baseball tournament?
It was a golf
tournament. Okay.
It was a golf baseball build to build funds and just donate money to the baseball team. And most of my teammates, we're only 23 years old, just graduated, but half of my teammates were there already.
Oh wow!
And so that kind of goes to show how much buy-in. We'd always joke around. We're like, man, the school's not fun, freshman year, but gosh, man, these people could not do baseball. Like, no way that they could handle baseball. Coach Skoll was, he was a tough character, and we went through a lot of things together. We battled through adversity together. So, but being at the school as well, you just kind of look around and you appreciate your other freshmen in your company, and how the school is built. You're built to know and get to know everybody on a personal level. I think a lot of schools you go to, and it's just you go to class, you may say hey to somebody, talk to the professor, maybe a touch, but at the Citadel, you get to know your professor, you get to know other students around you, especially when they're in the same class as you, same grade, and I think that's something pretty special that there's not a lot of now, especially after COVID. Younger people just aren't talking as much, they're not socializing as much, so that special to me.
All right, and Gant
sure.
Starling in here this morning, former Wayne County High School baseball player who signed a baseball contract with Colorado. So you went to South Alabama for a year, you said?
I did, yes, sir. I used my last year, my COVID year, red shirt, to go to South Alabama. Coach Calvi recruited me and play for him. He actually coached my pitching coach at the Citadel, Blake Cooper, who was a 2010 national champ at South Carolina. So,
And what you been doing since you left South Alabama?
I've been home, like Mr. Bob alluded to, just communicating with people, figuring out kind of what I got a career path in coaching. I've been trying to figure out what I needed to do from a baseball standpoint. Do I continue pursuing this, or do I, get on my career path for coaching? And everybody I talked to said, "Man, like you got to chase this dream." And I believe that I can get to where I want to go. So I've been working hard. I've been I work out a ton, and I throw. I spend hours on end, throwing and just
Where
the whole
at?
nine.
Where do you throw?
I throw up at the Wayne County baseball field. Coach Mack,
Okay.
he lets me use it all the time. He's like, they'll show up. I'm there. Coach Mack's like, you gonna lock it? I'm like, yes, sir, absolutely.
Do you have anybody catching for you?
I do, yeah. Gunnar Campbell. He's actually I think he's an upcoming junior this year. He's got talent. That baseball team looks good right now. Wayne County looks really good, really talented. They got some guys that I know Logan Scarborough looks good. Nick Thomas, Isaiah Lee looks good. They got some guys. I love being around them. I feel like hopefully just as much they love being around me.
What kind of advice do you give to these high school players now? Now you've gone through it. You've gone through college, and you're now working to get in the pros. But you are in the pros now. So tell us what kind of advice you give the high school players.
It's really just embrace the process. You gotta love what you do. If you don't, then the game will know. Like it's unbelievable how it works. If you're not invested into who you are as a baseball player, and I'm like, man, what do y'all think? What do you think Loganville's doing right now? What do y'all think over Thanksgiving break? Those guys didn't hit. Those guys didn't throw. No, they got their work in. So it's just encouraging them to buy into what Coach Mack's telling them, because Coach Mack runs it. I was so ready. I think I was so ready for college baseball when I got there, and it was because big part in due to Coach Mack, and his coaching staff, Barrett Brown and Coach Mullis, and all the football coaches as well there, just kind of buying into what he says and loving, like I said, enjoying the process of working out.
Have you gotten any advice from Barrett or other guys from this area that have signed contracts with pro teams?
Yeah, so I've been in touch with Ryan Aldridge and Barrett Browning. They've both helped me so much out of these past couple months. They kind of told me, they're like, hey, you gotta keep pushing, you gotta keep praying, and hoping. And I'm like, man, like, is there anybody y'all could talk to? I want a Big Mac and a bus ticket. I'm good to go. Thank the Lord that the Rockies were a little bit more lenient in that. But no, I mean, they it's funny. They told me to do the same thing I'm telling the high schoolers: embrace this process, man, because all you need is one team. And thank the Lord, I had one team that it's actually unbelievable. The Rocky scout that got me signed, he played ball with Barrett Browning at Middle Georgia, I believe. So, yeah, it's pretty unique how small the world is, I guess.
Yeah. Tell us how this call came about, because like I said, you graduated, you're waiting, you're hoping that you get an opportunity. Like I said, I saw you many times, you're just waiting for a call. So tell us when that call came, where you were at when you got the call, how it went about, what did they tell you? Give us the full story on where Gant was when he got the good news.
Yeah, so I'm on a golf course with my dad and my brother Miles, and we're on a par 3. I hit the green on the par 3, so it was a good start. And he calls me, and he's like, hey, man, listen, I don't know what the details are, but I want you to know that I talked to the farm director where we got you a contract coming, okay? And he was like, I'm like, oh, let's go, man, right on, let's go. And, so that's kind of the first call, but he actually reached out to me a couple weeks before. He didn't know if I'd been working out, throwing, anything. He didn't know if I was, teaching here. He didn't know. So I was actually up at Tread in North Carolina, which is a biomechanics place. Helps you pitching. It's where I went from, throwing 90, 92 to 95, 98. and I've made, pretty good strides. So I was actually up there throwing, and he texted me. He's like, "Hey man, have you been working out?" I'm like, "Yes, sir. I will send you anything you need." I've got baseball's all metrics now. It's all like analytics based, which I don't know how I feel about that. I'm not going to complain, but I'm more just get up there and just compete.
You got you signed.
But I'm like, "Do you need anything?" He goes, "I'll take your word for it. That's all I needed. Appreciate you." And he's like, "I'll be working on something for you." So I'm grateful for him. And I had a lot of. I actually met with him in November of last year while I was at South. Coach Calvi, I wasn't even pitching too well. I had a knee that I had to get that same knee I had to get surgery on, and he met with me. Velo was down a little bit. He was like, "Man, you get your velo up, we could talk." And I'm like, "All right." So I get through midway last year, and velo creeps up, and I'd struggled to pitch a little bit, but I was slowly ticking it back up, and we played Southern Miss at home. I come in, I walked. My identity was that I just walked from the bullpen this year. I used to sprint out of the bullpen. This year I just walked all the way to the mound, and they see me. These bunch of scouts see me during the season, and they're like, "What is this kid doing, man? What is he doing?" And Zuli is a scout's name. He goes, "If y'all had 5 minutes with this guy, I think that y'all wouldn't be questioning who he is." And I struck out the side, and he was like, "Told you." But no, it was he's been on my side and in my corner. I was projected to get drafted on day 2 or 3 this year. Ended up straining my lat and tricep in our last weekend series against Louisiana Lafayette. So that was unfortunate. It put me in a place of unknowing. So I needed to get with Garrett Pye, which I really appreciate him for everything he's done for me, helping me rehab and things like that. But I got with him. We had a process and a plan moving forward. And, Zuli, guy told me, he was like, "Man, you got to keep fighting. Like, your days of playing ball are not done, whether we get you or not." So, that's kind of the process. And then he trusted me, and we just I got in touch with our form director, and in the back of my head, I'm like, is this going to happen or not? Like, is he just saying this? Because if you know anything about the draft, you're liable to get called, and they're like, "Hey, man, we'll give you this much money," and then you're like, "Yes, yes, yes," and then they never call you back. But I was grateful that I got the call back. So
you did get a call, so you had to keep that dream alive. How close did you come to saying, like I said, you're thinking about a career choice, and but was that dream always in your mind? You just didn't want to give it up?
Yeah, there was no other option for me. Naturally, with me, I'm very pretty organized. So it's like, okay, well, by this time. Fortunately, we had a plan with my guys at Tread. I was going to do Pro Day, what they call Pro Day. They bring in 60 scouts, and from all over the place, and watch guys throw. And we got the gun, metrics, everything on them, and I was building up for that. But it's fortunate because I don't have to. Now I don't have to go in January to do the Pro Day. That what I was going to go do Pro Day for was to get signed, and which fortunately we got signed in November. So that's perfect. But that was my time that I was going to be. If I didn't get signed out of that, I was going to be like, okay, now it's time to, find a coaching position. I don't know. I'm still debating on college or high school. I think I'm more of a high school guy. But yeah, that's probably where I would have kind of said.
So when do you go to spring training? Well, spring training's right around the corner. Where do you report, and how soon do you get on that plane?
Yeah, so I'll go to Scottsdale, Arizona. Starting out, it'll be spring training, and
so everybody will be there, right?
I'm actually showing up early.
Yeah.
The guys wanted me, the form director, and Zuli wanted me there early, so I'll be there probably second week of January. I'll fly out, and I'll get to work out with the big leaguers and,
right.
and
well, that's what
meet
that's
everybody.
I was going to mention Dustin McGowan from Long County. He signed with Toronto, had a nice career. He told me one of my favorite stories is when he got to spring training the first time, he was down there throwing in the bullpen, and Roy Halladay came down there and showed him just a few things, and he said that 5 minutes with Roy Halladay was the most valuable 5 minutes he ever had because what he showed him really helped him propel his career. So, like I said, you get around those big leaguers, no telling what you learn, what you'll find out.
Absolutely.
So
yeah.
all of be there, the big leaders, they're from Colorado, and the farm teams, right?
Yes, sir.
And do you have any pitchers there for Colorado that you know that you might look up to or know about or anything?
Not really.
But you will get to know them in January, right?
Yeah, I will. Yes, sir. And I look forward to it. I look forward to learning from all of them. I also look forward to competing against them in some form or fashion in the weight room. You know, day in, day out. You know, whatever you got, routine. But there's not really anybody that comes to mind. I really look forward because there's a bunch of pro teams actually around, you know, that
In
area.
Chicago. Yeah, just like there is now in middle Florida, there is out in Arizona. Yeah.
Right. So I look forward to being able to just kind of being a relief pitcher. I always look forward to sitting back and watching for a little bit, just watching how people kind of conduct their business during the games. Hitters, you know, we got Charlie Condon from Georgia. The Rockies signed him. I think he was picked 3rd overall in the draft. So I'm ready to meet him and you know, throw against him a little bit, and I'll see if he can hit the slider. So
You think that's where you're going to slide? Where you're going to kind of slide in as a relief pitcher? Is that what the farm guy told you? So this is what we're going to use you for? Is for an inning or two or something like that?
yeah, I'll be a relief guy. Unless they see something different kind of fitting me, I think that with my build, with my persona as a pitcher, I'm going to be a relief pitcher.
What are your best pitches?
I love my slider. I trust my fastball. It's not that I don't trust my fastball, but it's funny. I pitch backwards, so I love throwing my slider all the time. I can throw it in 3-0 count. I can throw it in 2-0 count. I can throw it 3-2, 0-2, and I would just
Okay.
come at you with a slider.
I'm standing at the plate, and you're on the mound, and you throw me a slider. Kind of describe to me what that ball is doing as it's coming to me, and I'm trying to hit it.
So mine's a little bit harder and a little bit less breaking. I think it's tight, like it has a tight break, but
So it falls.
it's going to fall out a little bit from my throwing side to my glove side. So it's darting maybe 8 inches, but it'll be 88 to 91. So it looks like a fastball, but it's a little bit slower than my
Breaks a little
fastball.
bit. Yeah. It's amazing. You got a round bat and a round ball, and you're trying to hit that thing. No wonder if you hit 300, you're doing good.
Right. Oh, I mean, it's filthy out there. Like I don't know how hitters do it. I don't know. That's why I'm not a hitter. I was never a great hitter. You know, I done okay in high school, but nah, man, it's a tough sport. The odds. I love being a pitcher because the odds are always in my favor. The truth of it is, if you're getting guys to swing, I mean, I saw a stat. They in major leagues this year, they done a stat in how many times a pitcher went middle with a fastball, and the batting average against it was like 100.
Wow. Right down the middle, fastball, just a
Here you
bread
go.
and butter type of pitch, you know?
And it's just it's a funny game. It just the odds are against the hitter, and for me, I'm just trying to miss 2 inches either down or 2 inches up from the barrel. That's all I'm thinking, and I'm just trying to get swings.
Are you in favor of them going to the electronic strike zone, or do you still want to have the umps back there?
I like the human aspect of the umpiring. I do. I don't think the electronic. I think it's going to make it a little bit less fun for me because there's a human error that's involved that you love to hate at times, but you also hate to love it at times. But I mean, for me, it's going to be if that happens, you just accommodate and move forward. But I like that our catcher can turn around and talk to the umpires, and I actually ran into an umpire from the Citadel, graduate of the Citadel this past year. So I don't know. I like the umpires in it, but
Okay.
it's.
Gant Starling in here, our special guest this morning. Gant Starling, former Wayne County High School player, graduated in 2019, has signed a contract with the Colorado Rockies. Bob?
Again, we're just ecstatic for you. Like I said, great news. Like I said, I know how hard you work, and I know that was your dream for a long time. So it's nice to see dreams come true, and we'll follow it closely and wish you nothing but the best. I know you're itching to get down there to Arizona.
Yes, sir. I appreciate it, Mr. Bob.
One
You've seen me
final-
since I was a
yeah,
kid. So.
One final question: who was happier, your mom or your dad?
Mom's more nervous. I think Dad's Dad's really happy. I don't know. That'd be oh man, that's a tug of war. But they're both happy for me, and truthfully, I'm happy for them. They've poured their heart and soul into this for me. You've seen them take me state
Right.
champions, and
Right.
I remember having the headset on there. It's been a long ride, and my 3 other siblings, they're just as much involved with this as anyone. So I'm just grateful for my family. I'm thankful to the Lord for everything that He gives us. But when you get something that you've been just begging and longing for, it makes you just appreciate it a lot.
And I was going to mention, they had a thing at church this past weekend. I was out of town whenever they gave. I understand it was a great turnout.
Yeah, it was. We got to like 6:45, and I'm like, is anybody going to come? And Coach Mack texted me. He's like, I'll be there. I'm like, okay, we got Coach Mack. And a few of my other coaches came out, Sean Crosby and Gene Palmer. But it was a great turnout. I wanted to let everybody know how much I appreciate them and love them, to be honest. So.
Okay. You're healthy. You're ready to go.
I'm ready to go.
Ready to go.
Yes, sir.
You
Got to
know-
lose a little bit of weight, but Thanksgiving welcome me.
Up, you're gonna lose weight.
And your brother Miles looks good in that city uniform.
I'm telling you.
I didn't
he's-
realize he joined the police force. I saw him at Hurricanes. I kept looking. I said, "That looks like Miles. Is that Miles?" And I said, and I yelled Miles. He turned around and said, "Man, I didn't know you joined the police force, but it looks
Jesup?
good. Yeah, Jesup PD. Yeah,
He's-
Miles Starling.
He's a beast, man. He was top of his class, and he can shoot it well. I mean, we call him Private Chungus just because his sticking around. That Joker is a big dude, man. He's filled out. I'll tell you, I wouldn't tussle with him, man. If you're thinking about running from the law and he gets his hands on you,
You look out.
do not run from him. I'm telling you, he's country strong. He got all of that.
There
He
you
didn't have to
go.
work for it. He got it.
It
So
just came naturally.
yes, sir.
Well, again, congratulations. We're very excited for you, and we'll continue to follow it and wishing us but the best.
I appreciate
Appreciate
Mr.
you
Ball.
coming in, too. Appreciate you being on the show.
Thank you for the invite.
Okay.
Anytime.
All right, the world famous Butch and Bob show here on WIFO 105.5 FM in Jesup has been brought to you by O.C. Welch Ford in Hardyville, also by Murphy Builder Supply, First Southern Bank, and the Service Department at GNS Auto Sales in Jesup.